my joy in the whole operation is to see the animal from an embryo come through, have the animal, have that little calf, grow that calf, feed that calf. The calf's handled humanely through its whole life. It comes through our humane handling program here at the plant, gets inspected. You can see what you produced, see that really nice piece of meat, and then the best part is when the consumer gets it, takes it home, cooks it, and they enjoy that meal with their family.
Welcome to Building Nebraska, a podcast for dreamers and doers. We'll ignite your passion for entrepreneurship while highlighting those who turn ideas into reality. Building Nebraska is brought to you by the Angler Agribusiness Entrepreneurship Program at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I'm sitting down with Jim Pinney, the owner of Husker Meats here in Ainsworth, Nebraska, to learn a little bit more about your business and your impact on the community. Give us a little bit of context on how you acquired Husker Meats and how you've gotten to the point you are today.
Okay, Rebel. First of all, I'd like to appreciate you being able to come and promote my business. It means a lot to us. We're out in a rural area, so all the exposure we can get is great. But back to your question, I grew up here in Ainsworth. We've farmed and ranched here my whole life. I went from high school on down to Kansas State University and attended there for a meat science degree. Then I worked in all kinds of different little meat cheese shops, big packing houses, all different facets of the meat world, because I really do like meat. I like to raise good livestock, and I like to produce good meat. So I'm in right now both things that I really like a lot. So anyway, then I moved back here and I was on the ranch south of Woodlake now. Was south of Johnstown. We moved over to south of Woodlake. But the old plant that I worked in back in high school kind of got my feet wet as a butcher here. And so anyway, it was for sale. So we worked on it very hard. Took quite a while to do, but we finally acquired it. So anyway, that gives me an opportunity for a very, very good farm-to-table opportunity. Not many plants out there or not many ranchers have access to plant and the animals. So we try to really stress farm to table to be able to get it out. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, your business exists in a very unique environment where you're surrounded by all of these wonderful Sandhills ranches that are producing this high quality product. And of course, all of those producers also want to eat well themselves. So you kind of have a really cool symbiotic relationship there. Talk a little bit about kind of the structure of your business and how it maybe shifts during different times of year compared when it comes to retail, the retail side of things, and then also butchering privately.
We have a lot of facets to the business. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, we can do a custom exempt for one of those people that want to market their beef on out at a farmer's market, something like that, or just a rancher that wants to take it home to his table for his own use. So we can do both of that. We do quite a few hogs. We do quite a few lambs. We work with county fairs, all that kind of thing to be able to do that. So anyway, that's kind of where it's at. So
yeah. Well, in all those different facets, you have some pretty cool partnerships. Obviously, I'm sure you have longtime relationships with local ranchers who bring in maybe 1 or 2 beef a year, but you also have some cool partnerships throughout the community, too, with different schools and organizations and stuff like that. Is that right?
Yes, we do. We do somewhere around 18 schools. We work every year with the Sandhills Cattle Association. They have a Steers for Students program whereby they feed the cattle right along with the other steers. And then we harvest them and bring them in. The producer has the option to pick which school he wants to donate the hamburger to. So, and that's all paid for too. The donations and different things pay for that for the schools. So anyway, then the school that he picks, they have the opportunity to bring their students. When we actually we have people from the university come. They actually grade the carcasses. We go through it with them. We spend the whole day. Last year I think we had 66 kids from 6 schools And they get to go through the plant, get to see. A lot of those young folks they don't know, they have never seen an animal broken down into cuts as far as primals, and clear down to steak versions. So, what happens is we go through that carcass contest, then they come out to the cutting floor, and we actually break animals down. They can see us break them down. Then they'll get the producer gets the steaks back, as long as, and the Santos Cattle Association, they get some back too. And then the school gets the hamburger. So it's a really, really interesting, very, very learning experience for those students.
Yeah, and I'm sure as someone who had an interest in meats and meat science in high school, I'm sure it's kind of cool to watch those kids have an experience like that.
It is. It's really good. Try to work with a couple different schools on their meats team to go to the state convention, and and they've done well. But it's very interesting to see the kids and the young people try to work with it. So
yeah. Well, obviously you have a lot of goodwill for your community, but on the business side of things, you have really evolved and adapted to things over the last 10 years in business. One of those things being adding a USDA inspector to your operations. What prompted that addition, and how has that impacted your business?
Well, it's a very positive thing for us. We were kind of scared of it going in, as the paperwork and all the different things and all the different stories you hear out there. It's actually a pretty easy. It took us a while to get it, but as you have it now, it's very beneficial. Like I say, we can do custom exempt. We can also do federal. So we do have we're working with it. We have a sister company called Rope and Ride Meats, and we've put all of our federal meat up there for people nationwide to buy. It gives us the opportunity, the inspection gives us the opportunity to produce meat and take it anywhere in the United States. And if we pursue it, we've got the import too. So we can work with them. We almost sent some livers, but it didn't quite work. So, oh well.
Oh, gosh.
But anyway, yeah, it really opens things up. It's a wonderful thing to be able to ship out of state, ship everywhere. So.
Yeah. Well, we were talking prior to recording about some of the challenges and opportunities that were brought on in your industry from the COVID-19 pandemic and some of the things you saw here at a local level. Talk a little bit about that and how that impacted your business and how you've pivoted out of some of those challenges.
Well, when we first had COVID come around, we had so much business that it was overwhelming. I think we booked in close to 2 months of cattle in 3 days. That's how wild it got. And it got to the point where you just couldn't hardly keep up. We kind of went through that. We've gone through a phase now to where the livestock is a little bit higher in value. So, that's kind of slowed. Different aspects with having the federal. We can go into a bundle for folks. We're using the same meat. It's all farm to table. So instead of having to pay a whole bunch for, a whole beef or half a beef, they can purchase a bundle. That way they can kind of go work to affordability.
Mm-hmm. How have you seen consumer preferences change over the years when it comes to the cuts that they're buying and the quantity that they're buying?
Well, they've kind of the cuts they like the ribeyes, the different higher dollar cuts to put more hamburger with it. Used to be, they wanted the whole spectrum of roasts, steaks, the whole thing. Now it's kind of more, they're getting down to where if they're having an evening out or something like that, they want a steak, but then more hamburger, that type of thing. The other thing is pork. Pork is kind of taken off a little bit more, being the value of the beef is higher. So anyway.
Yeah. So when it comes to your retail cuts and value-added products, or I guess on the value-added side of things, how do you test those products and what does your distribution look like?
Okay. So we've done a lot of the University of Nebraska came out back a long time ago with the flat iron steak. They also came out with 4 more cuts in the chuck that are added value. The Denver, the American roast, the Sierra cut, and the boneless chuck ribs. So we've used those for like the real added value to put that stuff out, demonstrate it, sell it, piece by piece more. We can break it down. Today's world is more of a world of having it prepared, having it ready to go. People don't have time to prepare anymore. So the more you can break it down and the more you can prepare, the better off you are and the more marketable it is. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we've taken it to trade shows, different things. Upcoming, we're going to the Ranch Expo with a lot of new things. Mm-hmm. So it's just basically getting them out there, showing people what they're like. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, the farm to table process is obviously very trendy right now, but it is also it just makes sense, especially in a community like this where you're raising such a good product, to have community members be able to access that. But I know you sell some products in local grocery stores and things like that. What does that network of retailers look like?
It looks very good. We've got a lot of back a while ago, they wouldn't listen to you. You could go and go and go. Now, as it comes along, like you say, the farm to table is becoming more important. People are starting to see that, and they're willing to try the product. We've got sausage, our Holy Smoked sausage, in around 5-6 different retail stores, and it's doing well. We're working on putting some brats in. We've got a lot of different kinds of brats. We've got a Carter Nelson brat. Probably heard of Carter Nelson. He came from Ainsworth, Nebraska.
Very
and
cool.
So anyway, we got him up here, and we did kind of a promotion and got him to taste several different flavors, and he picked one out, so we called it the Carter Nelson brat. But we've also got the Big Red brat, and it's kind of a plain pepper brat. Everybody really likes it. It's really a big seller right now. Mm-hmm. But it's all in promotion and getting folks to try our product. Mm-hmm.
Well, there are challenges to running any business, but especially in rural communities, people often are concerned about hiring a high-quality workforce or individuals that are qualified and willing to do the job. And I'm sure that you have learned a lot with staffing over the years. But how do you equip your employees for success and teach them the ins and outs of being on the floor?
Well, I guess the most challenging part of this whole operation is help. By far, way out there. You cannot go and find a person that graduated with a meat cutting degree. It just doesn't exist. So you have to take someone that's willing to show up and learn and take that person and apprentice them. There's several different places where apprenticeship, I think the University of Nebraska is really looking hard at getting that apprenticeship going. But that is one thing out here in rural America that we're really, really short on is skilled labor to be able to come in. So anyway, back to your question, when the person gets here and they're willing to show up and they do show up and they want to work, then it's relatively easy because you can go through, teach them. It's repetitive. Yeah, there's nothing that difficult about any of it. It's just repetitive and it's hard work. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's where I sit on that deal.
Very cool. Well, you truly are a fixture in your community, providing a much needed service. What is the most rewarding part of what you get to do every day, and what kind of impact do you hope or do you know that you're having on the community of Ainsworth?
Well, my joy in the whole operation is to see the animal from an embryo come through, have the animal, have that little calf, grow that calf, feed that calf. The calf's handled humanely through its whole life. It comes through our humane handling program here at the plant, gets inspected. You can see what you produced, see that really nice piece of meat, and then the best part is when the consumer gets it, takes it home, cooks it, and they enjoy that meal with their family. That's what makes me happy.
Full circle moment for sure.
Yep, it is.
Well, Jim, this has been such a fun and enlightening conversation. There's so much that I have learned just through our tour of the plant just a few minutes ago. But thank you for sitting down and sharing your story with us today.
Thanks again for having me.
Well, once again, that's Jim Pinney with Husker Meats here in Ainsworth. As a reminder, Building Nebraska is brought to you by the Engler Agribusiness Entrepreneurship Program at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.